show. The pilot episode. It's just me. It's all just me in a room alone speaking into a microphone. I've been doing podcasts for a little over 10 years now, and this is something I always wanted to try. And now it's happening. It's just me. Now I'm going to have some guests on from time to time. I talk a lot about news, sports, entertainment, covering weird stories about viral heroes, give them their 15 minutes of fame. It's going to be a good time. We'll start with breaking broken news. Now the news cycle, it's really hard to keep up with, especially once a week doing a podcast. Some of these stories will be a little old to you. That's okay, we're going to talk about it anyway. We'll start with the vice presidential debate from last week, in which a fly stole the show. Now, there's some math that was done, and the main thing about the fly was that, this kind of thing happens to pretty much everybody that's ever lived. A fly lands on your head. All right, big deal. Get over it. I'm sure Pence he showers, he's not some dirty, shitty guy that attracts flies. The weird part was how long that fly stayed on his fucking head. It was about 2 minutes, okay? So the math on that is the average life of a housefly is about 28 days, okay? The average lifespan of a human is about 79 years, okay? So if you break it down, that fly spent 33 hours of its entire life on top of Mike Pence's head. 33 hours of its 28-day life. That's bizarre. It's bizarre. I thought the debate went a little, Kamala was sassy. She's like, "Excuse me, I'm speaking." And I'm sure that riled up some people. Like, oh, look at this bitch. But I liked it, She was asserting herself. She saw what happened in the shit show between Trump and Biden a week before. And she was not going to be spoken over. So, that was okay. I just didn't like how the moderator would ask them a question and they would straight up not answer some of the questions. That was a little suspect to me. I guess that's just politics. What are you going to do? Trump got corona, allegedly. I mean, the fact that he got it, you would think, oh God, maybe this is like going to wake him up. Like, oh shit, this is serious. This is something I should really be concerned about. I should, make a statement to the general public about how serious this is. No, he doubles down. First of all, he gets airlifted to a hospital where he has, all of the best doctors ever. And they're giving him treatment round the clock. So, of course, he's going to feel fine after it. Not everybody gets airlifted out of their fucking apartment stoop, sir. Not everybody gets that treatment. You fuck. And you should have at least acknowledged that. Like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm feeling much better, but I know a lot of people out there won't get the same kind of treatment that I did. So you gotta be careful. No, that's not, no. I'm feeling better than ever. There's a holy glow around me. God told me this was a blessing. You are fucking insane, sir. You're actually an insane person. I watched a little pep rally he had in Florida last night. The dude said some wild shit. He was on something. He was definitely on some sort of upper. The man had more energy than I did, and I'm not about to die like he is. The dude at one point said, "I'm fine. I can't spread it. I want to come kiss all the beautiful ladies out there, and the men too." You know, like he's trying to be politically correct. The fuck? And also, he wants to kiss only the beautiful women? What about the trolls, Trump? You don't mess with trolls? You. The dude actually has a troll doll made after him. His little stupid face, with his big gut and his wild hair. Sir, you're a troll. You're a troll. You're trolling the entire United States of America, and with the trickle-down effect, the entire world. Congratulations. I don't want you to die of corona. I want you to die in a prison cell. Okay? So yeah, rest up. Go ahead and lose the election. Go ahead and get arrested. Some of your family as well. And go sit. Go sit in a fucking prison cell, sir. I want you to live out your last days as humiliated as possible in the shittiest conditions you've ever been a part of. Hopefully somebody gives you that bread bag and olive oil treatment. Cause they don't pass out condoms in prison, from what I hear. So you gotta improvise. You get a little olive oil, a little lube, you get that bread bag, protection. You don't know what this dude has. Can you catch COVID from sex? Anal sex? I don't know. I don't want to find out. There's an Idaho man that went viral recently. He put out a video, I guess, on Instagram. He's longboarding on the highway, listening to Fleetwood Mac, and down in some cranberry raspberry ocean spray. By the way, I have so many questions about this. Has he seen the 16-ounce bottles of this cranberry raspberry? Because the dude's holding like the whole 32, I don't know, like the family size. And he's just holding it, chugging it down. Another thing, is there any vodka in there? Or is he just straight up drinking virgin cran rasp? I would have to think there's some vodka in there. Dude looks lit. I think he's got a little neck tattoo or something. Goes by 420 Dogface on Instagram if you want to follow him. So all this created such a buzz that I think some dude from Fleetwood Mac, you know, gave him a shout out. He did the challenge. Now everything's a challenge, you know. And then Ocean Spray hooked him up with a truck. I mean, shit. I'm just trying to brainstorm some things here where I can get sponsored by some company, you know. I mean, shit. I'm trying to think. Narragansett, that's my beer of choice. It's, you know, it's a northeast, I think Rhode Island, Narragansett. Maybe I just need to put out a viral video of me. Well, I don't longboard. I guess I'll just be walking with a Narragansett. That's not really that sexy though. I'll have to think of something, but shit, I want somebody to buy me a truck just for using their product and getting 100,000 likes. It's crazy. Also, I want to know, like, what does he do? What is his job? Is he, like, was he on the way to something, like, an important meeting, or just a joyride? Like, what is his occupation? I need these answers, people. In New York, Rick Moranis from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I know he was in other things, but that's where I first saw him when I was a child. Great fucking movie. Doesn't hold up. You gotta be 12 or under to enjoy that movie and born in the 80s. So, this poor little Rick Moranis, I mean, this dude is small, tiny. He's like in his 60s by now. I think he lost his wife too. That's why he quit acting. I mean, poor guy. And he's just walking home from the store, and some big black dude in a hoodie, an I Love New York hoodie, by the way, just cold clocks him out of nowhere. There was no verbal disagreement. Rick Moranis didn't call him the N-word. It was just, I'm Rick Moranis. I'm carrying some cage-free farm fresh eggs home. Maybe a little butter lettuce. And this dude just turns around and just one shot, like an MMA style, to the head, and the man collapses. Now here's the thing. They didn't catch the guy. They have basically no leads. The police are only offering a $2,500 reward for anything leading to the arrest. $2,500. Now, if this was Brad Pitt or fucking name your actor, your favorite guy, you think it would only be $2,500? Seems odd to me. Where's the love for Rick Moranis? This is bullshit. Yelp is starting to out racist restaurants. So you can actually complain that a company or a restaurant rather was racist when they served you their Del Taco or their matzo balls or their bagel. Now, here's the thing. Yelp, after I thought about it, Yelp was like the first Karen activity. Yelp started Karens. Yelp started Karens because they got this little app and they were like, I went to this restaurant and I did not get the proper service that I wanted. 1 star out of 5 would not go again. And then they grew, they mutated, and they started doing it in real life. Fuck you, Yelp. By the way, I used to work at a lot of restaurants, and, if I felt vengeful enough, I would just get a bunch of my coworkers and be like, yo, let's write some racist shit about this company. We don't have to go to work. They're going to shut us down. Boom. I don't know how that would help our wages, but, if we just really hated the owner. Now, I've worked for some pretty racist owners, actually. I won't name names, but they served burgers. And, yeah, it's kind of a shitty guy. But, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far to create a Yelp account in the first place. You go to a restaurant, you're on your own, okay? Trump backed out of the debate. He said it was a waste of his time. It really is, sir. Your days are coming to an end. And I don't want to jinx it, but if this dude wins, we're fucked. We're fucked. If he loses, we're fucked. Because he's got his militia standing by. He's got his dirtbag, white supremacist buddy, morons, like actual retarded people. Retards. Well, they're at least on the spectrum. Or they're just a product of poor education. So, he's got them working for him. And they love guns, too. They're like, I don't need to wear a mask because I know that God's going to protect me. Well, then why the fuck do you need a gun for? God's not going to protect you? You have to have a gun? You just want to kill, sir. You just want to shoot somebody. Don't come at me with that bullshit. We'll go to some sports here. Alright. Let's lighten it up a little bit. Little bit. So the Lakers won another title. Whoop de fucking do, nobody cares. If you are not a Lakers fan or a LeBron fan, you don't care about this, right? There were 11.4 million people watching the Minnesota versus Seattle football game on Sunday night. At the same time that the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat were playing game 6, they only brought in 5.6 million. Yeah, nobody. Okay, the NFL will always be the best sport. You know why? Even when your team is out, let's say they lose in the okay, I'll use my own beloved Green Bay Packers. We made it to the NFC Championship game against the 49ers and we lost. And I still watched the Super Bowl. Even as painful as it was, I still had to watch it. And I put a little, I put some bets on it that made it a little more interesting, but I still watched it. My Packers had a bye this week. Guess what I did on Sunday? I watched the Red Zone. I was keeping track of all the games. Now, fantasy football helps. You got a wager going against the team. That helps. With NBA, I'm sorry, but once my Indiana Pacers were out in the first round, I didn't watch any of those games unless I had money on it. And even then, it was only like the last 5 minutes I would tune in for. The NBA is team specific. If your team isn't playing, I don't see how you watch some random fucking Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Phoenix Suns. Unless you're a fan of those two teams, you're not watching that. I'm sorry. The WNBA, no offense, nobody's watching that. But I will give shout out to Sue Bird from the Seattle Storm. I had a little crush on her back in, when she was at UConn. She was a great player. She still is. But she's a lesbian, so it didn't work out. So after the game, their win, Bird, who is, I think, married or dating Megan Rapinoe, the soccer star for USA, they share a nice kiss on television. And the announcer creepily says, "Oh, those two are going to have fun tonight." And it was just the way he said it, like he was picturing them scissoring or kissing each other's meow meows. It was uncomfortable, to say the least. I don't see how these announcers get away with some of this shit. It's blatant, some of the things they say. Moving to college football, another sport that I don't watch unless I'm gambling on it. The UL Lafayette Raging Cajuns are the only ranked football team in the state of Louisiana. That's right, LSU. The Tigers are out of the top 25 for the first time in like 3 or 5 years. I mean, without Joe Burrow and Patrick Queen and all your other little Justin Jefferson that left, they lost to Missouri this weekend, and there's no excuse for that. Y'all have at least a handful of NFL stars on your roster at this current moment, and you're really underperforming there. Now, this game was moved to Missouri because of Hurricane Delta. And, prayers for Louisiana, my home state, which is just, God, I don't know what the fuck y'all did down there to deserve like 5 hurricanes in a row. It's unreal. Oh, yeah, global warming, that's right. Which no one wants to believe in, but pretty sure it's happening. We got ice caps melting. That's good times. We're on the way out, people. Stop having kids. They're not going to make it to their college graduation. Sorry to say. I hate to be doom and gloom, but I'm a realist. We'll move to the NFL where I'll break down these games in a second. But first, I wanted to really focus on the important part of one NFL team. The Pittsburgh Steelers have a linebacker named Bud Dupree. And he's, I guess, doing the Instagram live thing. He's drinking a Budweiser because his name is Bud Dupree. And he's sitting there relaxing on the couch, probably watching a game. And I guess he has his legs open and he's wearing shorts. So one of his balls just meanders out in plain view. That's good times. I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. And that's not even stupid. That's just embarrassing. But I've never successfully leaked out any of my genitalia on social media. So that's on my bucket list. So good for you, Bud Dupree. Let's get to the NFL. That's all you've been waiting for, obviously. My expert opinion on these games. And I will be giving you some games to bet on for next week. We'll start with Thursday, where the Bears sort of upset the Buccaneers, 20-19. And the most awkward thing happened for Mr. Tom Brady. Let's see. It's like a minute left in the game. They're down by 1, trying to get in the field goal range. It's 4th down. And Tom Brady throws a pass. It's broken up. And then he looks to the refs. And he's genuinely confused. And he's holding up 4 fingers. Like, oh, what? This is 4th down, right? No, that was 3rd. This is 4th down, right? Come on, man. Did you have a senior moment? Did you have an NFL quarterback senior moment? Or were you just so embarrassed? I don't know, because his coach, Bruce Arians, came out in the press conference and they asked him straight up, did Tom know it was 4th down? Yeah, he knew. And, I would just have a little more respect for him if he came out and said, no, I honestly did not know. I didn't know, and that's on me. Because the whole game, he was fucking screaming at his wide receivers. He was throwing a fucking bitch fit on the sidelines because people were running the route that he didn't want them to run. Just laying into people for making little mistakes here and there. And then here he is, not having the awareness to understand it's the end of the game. We need to get in field goal range. And you didn't know it was 4th down. Well, good on you, sir, because when the Packers come to town next week, I hope you have your shit sorted out. Because we are bringing the number 1 offense in the league to Tampa. And I can't wait to wax that ass. Hope it's not too hot for my boys. Moving to the Sunday games, the Panthers beat the Falcons. And in turn, the Falcons fired their coach and their GM. That's the double doozy. That's get out of town. Now, you'll remember the Panthers have Teddy Bridgewater. They're without Christian McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the league. And the Falcons, they have a good offense. I mean, Calvin Ridley, arguably better than Julio Jones at this point in his career. Julio's in and out of the lineup all the time. Matt Ryan, supposed to be, he won MVP one year. I don't understand what the fuck is going on there. But either way, I think they have never recovered from that 28-3 collapse in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. I went back and watched footage from that the other day. And just the series of events. I mean, the last time the Falcons had the ball in that Super Bowl, they could have just kneeled 3 times, made the Patriots use all their timeouts, and they would have won the game. They would have won the game. They were passing. They were trying to be cute. Kneel the fucking ball, and you win the Super Bowl. So, unbelievable. That is a Super Bowl hangover from, what, 4 years ago? 3 years? Jesus Christ. Like, at some point, you gotta get over that. The fuck is you doing, man? The Raiders upset the Chiefs. It's the first time the Raiders won in Kansas City, I don't know, like 20 years? Something crazy like that. Speculation is Bill Belichick from the Patriots, who played the Chiefs last week, may have put out a blueprint on how to corral Mr. Patrick Mahomes. We'll see if that stays true moving forward, but Mahomes didn't look especially MVP-ish in that game. The Cardinals beat the Jets. No shit. The Jets, I mean, you want to talk about a coach being fired. Adam Gase, I don't understand how he's not been fired yet. He had a quote recently where he's like, yeah, we practice really hard. We look a lot better in practice. Yeah, cool story, bro. That's like saying, I last a lot longer when I'm masturbating. Right? Is that an even comparison? I don't know. The Steelers beat the Eagles. Battle of Pennsylvania. And the Eagles can still win their division. As sad as that division is. Steelers 4-0 for the first time since 1970. Fucking Chase Claypool. Rookie that the Packers should have gotten. Went off for 4 touchdowns. Looked like a beast out there. What a great last name too, Claypool. Chase Claypool from Canada. The Rams beat the Redskins. This was an interesting game only for the fact that last week the Redskins. I'm gonna say the Redskins. You know what? Fuck it. Until they come up with a real name, I'm not gonna be one of these assholes. The Washington Football Team. No, they're the Redskins until further notice. I don't give a fuck. So the Redskins benched Dwayne Haskins, their former first-round pick. Ron Rivera was not having it. Apparently he wasn't grasping the offense as well as he could have been. He wasn't putting in the time. Sort of cocky. I'm a first-round pick. Whatever, I can get by on my natural talent. I don't need to learn this playbook. Well, he got benched. And he didn't get benched to second string. He got benched to third string. Like, that means you don't even get to wear the helmet that day. You're wearing team apparel. And so yeah, they bring in Kyle Allen, who Ron Rivera worked with in Carolina last year. He knows the offense, god damn it, right? And actually, Kyle Allen was doing okay. He had a little touchdown run there. And high pass completion. And then he got a little helmet-to-helmet knock from one of the Rams. I think it was Ramsey, actually. Knocked him out. Had to go to concussion protocol. And then so who comes in but Alex Smith, who a couple years ago got one of those Joe Theismann injuries where like they had to blur it out. You don't want to even see the damage that was done to his leg. He was going to lose his leg. He almost got his leg amputated. He almost died from the whole thing. Almost died. Came back. And has to come in relief of somebody. Completes his first pass. It's a good story. And doesn't really do much for the rest of the game. I understand. I mean, the dude's got to be a little on edge. At one point, the best defensive player in the league, Aaron Donald, like jumps on his back, like he's trying to get a little piggyback ride, and that had to have rattled him a little bit. But good story nonetheless. They showed his family in the stands. It was nice. It would have been nicer if they would have pulled out a great victory, but I mean, come on. Washington is a shit team. The Rams are better than we expected. That's that. The Ravens beat the dog shit out of the Bengals. And I like this move. I've done this on Madden, where if I'm losing, I'm getting shut out. And the final score was 27-3. But they took their 3 points, I think, like, with minutes left in the fourth quarter. They were just like, no, we're not going to get shut out. God damn it. Some teams would, like, we're trying to go for a touchdown at all costs. These dudes were like, no, we might as well just at least put 3 points up. That's good enough. That'll help. Team morale building experience. So yeah, Joe Burrow had an uncomfortable moment because the LSU phenom, his teammate from that same LSU team, Patrick Queen, was on the Ravens and had a couple of key plays against old Joey Burrow. I think he strip sacked him and recovered the fumble. And then somebody else fumbled and Patrick Queen picks it up and runs it in for a touchdown. And apparently Joe Burrow and Patrick Queen didn't get along while they were at LSU together. So this was interesting. But yeah, Ravens took care of business. Not shocking. The Texans, who just recently fired their head coach, Bill O'Brien, he was also their general manager, made some terrible trades recently, and just got into it with some of the players. Apparently his coaching style rubbed some players the wrong way. He was getting into shouting matches with team employees and players. They fired his ass. And then, like, 77-year-old Romeo Crennel is the interim coach. And he gets his little win there over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Boring game. Ugly game. And then, look. This is my favorite of the week. The Dolphins beat the 49ers in San Francisco 43-17. I had money on this. I should have put more money on this. I had a feeling about this. And Jimmy G. Oh, Jimmy porn star fucking Garoppolo got benched at halftime. Throwing 2 terrible interceptions in the first half. So the coach said, we want to protect him. We're down by so much, we're going to have to be passing a lot. We don't want him to get further injured. You waved the white flag there, sir. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy G is playing for another team here pretty soon. Cleveland Browns are 4-1. They beat the Colts. And they really shouldn't have. They really shouldn't have. It was all about the Colts' pass defense was awful. They were making Baker Mayfield look like he was playing in college again. The Colts' run defense was pretty great. But they have a quarterback by the name of Phillip Rivers. And I hate to say it, but that dude is done. He is never going to win you a game against any of the AFC elites. The Chiefs, the Ravens, the Steelers even. You're not going to beat any of those teams with Phillip Rivers as your quarterback. You might as well, and you'd be better off if you put in Jacoby Brissett. He can move around a little bit. He's basically just as good as Phillip Rivers, except he's more careful with the ball. And he has a stronger arm at this point. But their coach, Frank Wright, he says he's staying with Phillip Rivers for another week, I guess. But he's really holding them back, in my opinion. The Cowboys beat the Giants. This was a really close game, back and forth. Big story of this game was Dak Prescott getting tackled awkwardly, snapped his whole ankle off. I mean, it looked like his shoe fell off. You know, like whenever you take off your shoe and it like just looks kind of weird hanging off the side of your foot. That was his ankle. His foot was still in that shoe. So he gets carted off. He's crying. And you know, I don't really like Dak Prescott. I think he's a little fucking corny. But I didn't want to see him get hurt like that. I mean, that's a fucking bummer. And he's on the franchise tag. They were talking all year about, are we going to sign him to a long year extension? And he held out for more money. And they were like, all right, well, we're just going to franchise tag you. And he was off to a great start. I mean, he was on pace to throw for like 5,000 yards. And, yeah, he got hurt. In comes Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle. I mean, seriously, this dude's hair it's distracting. I mean, if he wasn't wearing a helmet, or whenever he's not wearing a helmet, it's very distracting to see his hair. And it's all spiked up and like, and he just has like this weird face. I don't know, the dude is just like very unsettling to look at as a person. I don't know him, so I'm sure he's fine. He did make a really clutch throw to Michael Gallup that pretty much sealed the deal. And yeah, the Cowboys escaped with a win over the now winless Giants, or still winless Giants. Jesus. The state of New York, their combined football record is 0-10. Y'all gotta fucking pick it up, New York. Y'all owe it to these fans. The Sunday night game, this one devastated me. Devastated me. So the Vikings are in the Packers division, okay? But they're 1-3. Their team is terrible. They're no threat to the Packers to win the division. So the best case scenario for me and the Packers is that they beat a team like Seattle, who the Packers are sort of, you know, fighting for that number one spot in the NFC. This would have been a glorious victory had the Vikings been able to pull it off. They were up 13-0 at one point. I was feeling good. I had a little change on the game, and it was all looking well. Then Dalvin Cook gets hurt. He was destroying them all game. He gets hurt. He's out for the game, and the Seahawks score like 21 points in 2 minutes. Unreal. All of a sudden, it's 21-13. I thought they were just going to blow them out, but no. The Vikings sort of came back, regained the lead. And then with minutes left in the game, I think like a minute 30 seconds left, they're inside Seattle's 20-yard line. It's 4th and 1. They're up 26-21. Okay? They choose to go for it, which if they would have successfully ran for 1 yard, they in fact would have won the game because the time would have run out. That would have been that. They could have kicked the field goal and gone up 28. No, it would have been 29-21. So the Seahawks would have had to drive down the field and get a 2-point conversion. Instead, they go for it on 4th and 1. They don't get it. The Seahawks drive down the field. They get a touchdown. They go for 2, and they don't get it. So, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but that was a stupid call I will forever hate the Vikings for costing me $3 when I could have won, I think, like $9. Alright? So fuck you, Minnesota. And fuck you, Seattle, too. I'm so sick of Russell Wilson. Great player. Fantastic. But there's not a guy I hate more. Well, okay, so truth be told, LeBron James and Russell Wilson are equal in my amount of hate for them. Hate. Like, actually, like, you know, whenever you say, oh, I hate that person, and your mom's like, oh, don't say hate, that's a strong word. No, I mean it. I fucking hate them. If they died today, I wouldn't be sad. I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't be sad. Sorry, I'm getting a little personal here. And then last night, the Monday Night Football game, the Saints beat the Chargers. I guess you could say they beat them. But Justin Herbert, he was Drew Brees' daddy last night. Okay. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. And if it weren't for his bumbling kicker, I think it's Michael Badgley, misses a field goal in regulation that would have won the game. After Mike Williams, makes an incredible catch on the sideline over 2 people. One of them being Pro Bowl cornerback Marshawn Lattimore. Just jumps up 6 feet in the air, hauls it in, timeout, field goal unit on, and the motherfucker misses. Any other kicker in the league makes that. Or at least mine does. Mason Crosby, Packers kicker, he would have made it. So the Saints, you know, they get the ball in overtime, they drive down, they only get a field goal, and then rookie Justin Herbert couldn't get the job done. So, yeah, Saints escape and get another win. Now 3-2. So yeah, looking forward to next week, seeing the Packers and Buccaneers square off. Buccaneers were supposed to be this great team, and I'm not afraid of them. Not afraid. Alright, I'm going to finish up this episode with a couple of fun facts. Just things that I thought were interesting. So men that climb Mount Everest end up getting erections while climbing due to the change in altitude and blood flow. Does that anything? I mean, guys, y'all know what it's like. I don't like walking with an erection. It's very bizarre. I don't like trying to sleep with an erection either. But climbing Mount Everest with an erection, I don't know. I think there's something else to that. In 1937, there was a soccer game being played between Chelsea and Charlton, and the fog was so bad, so thick, that they canceled the game. Unfortunately for Chelsea's goalie, he didn't get the memo, and he was left on the field for 15 minutes before he realized, wait, is anybody out there? Thought that was kind of funny. Guys, thanks for listening. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's jesse.lasala. You can follow my media page, jla.curated.media. Obviously, the Jesse LaSala Show. And don't forget Bless the Biddies, my other podcast with my lovely fiancée, Maddie. So thanks for listening, and until next time, I don't know, I don't have a sign-off yet. It's just a pilot episode. Give me some time. I'm gonna come up with a sign off. Till then,